The Woodcutter and the Giant Rock. Hello everyone, welcome back. Today, I am going to tell you a story called The Woodcutter and the Giant Rock. Listen carefully, because this story has a very powerful life lesson. Long ago, in a small peaceful village surrounded by green forests and tall mountains, there lived a poor woodcutter named Raghav. Raghav was a hard-working man. Every morning before sunrise, he carried his old axe and walked deep into the forest to cut wood. He sold the wood in the market to earn money for his family. Life was not easy for him. Some days he earned enough to buy food, and some days he returned home tired and disappointed. Still, he never stopped working. He believed that honest effort would one day change his life. One morning, while walking toward the forest, Raghav noticed something unusual on the village road. A huge giant rock lay right in the middle of the path. It was so big that carts could not pass easily. Children had to climb around it, and elderly people struggled to cross the road safely. Raghav stopped and looked at the rock carefully. He thought, someone should move this rock. It is causing trouble to everyone. But then he sighed and said to himself, I am already tired. This is not my responsibility. So he continued walking toward the forest. Throughout the day, many villagers passed by the same road. A rich merchant came first. His cart almost turned over because of the rock. He became angry and shouted loudly, blaming the king for bad roads. However, he did not even try to move the rock. Later, a group of farmers arrived. They complained about their bad luck and the problems in the village. They talked for a long time but simply walked around the rock and continued their journey. Even strong young men passed by. They laughed, avoided the obstacle, and moved on without helping. Days passed, but the rock remained in the same place. Everyone complained. No one acted. One evening, Raghav was returning home after a long and tiring day. His shoulders hurt, and he was carrying heavy bundles of wood. Again, he saw the giant rock. This time, he noticed an old woman trying to cross the road. She struggled to step around the rock and almost fell. Raghav felt uncomfortable. He could not ignore the situation anymore. He thought, if everyone waits for someone else, this problem will never be solved. He slowly placed his wood on the ground and decided to try. Raghav pushed the rock with all his strength. It did not move. He tried again, using more effort. Still, the rock stayed in place. Sweat rolled down his face. His hands hurt, and his body felt weak. For a moment, he thought about giving up. But then he remembered something his father once told him. Real strength comes from persistence, not comfort. Raghav looked around and found a long wooden branch. He placed it under the rock and used it as a lever. Slowly, the rock began to move. Little by little, it rolled away from the center of the road. With one final push, the rock moved completely aside. Raghav fell to the ground, breathing heavily. He was exhausted but happy because the road was finally clear. As the dust settled, something caught his attention. Where the rock had been lying, he noticed a small wooden box buried in the soil. Curious, he opened it carefully. Inside the box were shining gold coins and a folded note. With trembling hands, he opened the note and read, "This rock was placed here to test the people of this village. The person who removes it will discover that every obstacle hides an opportunity." Raghav was shocked. All the people who complained had missed this reward because they chose comfort instead of action. He realized that the true reward was not just the gold but the lesson behind it. Raghav used the gold wisely. He repaired his small house, bought better tools, and ensured his children received education. He also helped neighbors who were struggling, remembering the difficulties he once faced. Over time, people in the village began to respect him deeply. Not because he became rich, but because he showed responsibility and courage. The villagers also learned an important lesson. They understood that problems are not always punishments. Sometimes, they are opportunities hidden behind effort. From that day forward, whenever Raghav saw a difficulty, he did not complain or wait for others. He took action, and slowly, the village itself began to change, because one person decided to move a rock that everyone else ignored. Moral of the story: problems are often opportunities in disguise. Many people complain about difficulties, but only those who take action discover success. Hard work, responsibility, and persistence always bring rewards. Thank you for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And don't forget to hit the bell icon for more inspiring stories.